Hello, my name is Delaney Goodman, and this is for my Service Learning Project Submission 3. The first question asked, what is my biggest struggle this year, or what was my biggest struggle this year, and how I conquered that struggle? So really, I think my biggest struggle this year would be just not getting burnt out. So driving 2 hours and, you know, going to work and constantly feeling like there's things that you're not doing right because of unsupportive administration. That has been very difficult. And then driving 2 hours back home and then staying up all night long and doing work and then doing schoolwork and doing it on the weekend also. Creating that balance for myself has been very difficult this year. And I finally, about halfway throughout the school year, realized that I needed to take a step back and create a balance for myself, make sure that I had some free time to take care of me, make sure that mental health is at the top of my priorities because it is a priority. So just giving myself that one day a week where I promise myself that I'm not going to do schoolwork, I'm not going to focus on work, and realizing that sometimes if it doesn't get done in one day, it can get done the next day. So, there's a lot of nights that I go home and I stay up until 2 a.m. doing schoolwork or work and preparing for the week, and just realizing that it is going to be okay if it doesn't get done that day, that I can work on it the next. And I meet the deadlines, but sometimes you have to create that balance, and realizing that everything isn't impossible in one day. And I've just had to take a step back and give myself that time to breathe and just relax, and realizing that I had to put me first as well. Something that I did really well with this year, something that is one of my biggest successes, is I've officially gotten a child through the special education process. So he has gone through MTSS, and it has been a long process, but he is finally getting evaluated and going through this psychological testing right now. And we've just had his first IEP meeting, his initial IEP meeting last week. So going ahead and getting that parent consent and figuring out in the next few weeks what services he's going to get has been amazing, because I have worked so hard this year on pushing for this kid to get those services, and I've done so much progress monitoring, and I've really been on top of making sure that this kid is getting what he needs. So it has been very rewarding seeing that all the hard work that I've put forth this year is finally helping this child, because he was in MTSS last year, and then at the beginning of this year none of it followed through. Like, it restarted for some reason, and I didn't want that to happen again next year and them drop the ball on it. So I really pushed this school year to make sure that this kid gets the services that he needs by the end of this year. And I am so thrilled that we just had our initial IEP meeting and that we are doing our follow-up to talk about his services in the next 3 weeks, I think. So that is something I'm super proud of. I've worked really closely with this kid, and I've done everything that I can in the general education classroom. So I am super thrilled about the progress we've made with the services that he needs. And then a time that I felt like I didn't really fit in. The school that I'm at is very, diverse, not in the aspect of different races and stuff, but there's a lot of older teachers. There is some teachers who have been teaching for 12 years, and there's some teachers from all over the world. I have a teacher on my grade level who's from Jamaica, and then I have another teacher who is newer to our school, and she is from Kentucky. So a lot of people came together this year, and basically the whole first grade team is new. So figuring out how we work together was really difficult, because we were all so different. I have Leah, who's at the school with me, and we didn't really know each other either. So going into the school year, we had to form that relationship and really figure out how we work together and how we would go through the year together. And, being newer teachers, especially students in an intern program or a fellowship program, it's kind of hard to get that respect from a lot of people because they think you know nothing. And finding that balance of, hey, I'm new, but I know a lot of the newer stuff, let me help you with it, and them also thinking that they know everything and you know nothing, has been kind of challenging, just because, I have suggestions and think about Orton Gillingham, the approach to reading for students with dyslexia. We focus on that a lot in school, and I had a lot of great insights about it, but when Gwinnett started shifting towards it, everybody was basically telling me that I was wrong about how we should be teaching reading, and it was frustrating because I knew that that's where we were moving towards. And a few weeks after I started telling everybody that, we ended up shifting towards that direction and taking a class on it. And it was just difficult because I wanted to share my knowledge, but it was almost as if it wasn't welcomed, because I am new and new teachers know nothing, apparently. So that has been very challenging, and it made me feel like I didn't really fit in, because it's like I didn't have a voice and nothing I said was correct because I'm a new teacher and I don't know anything. So I kept my distance. I kind of just kept my comments to myself. I was very receptive to their feedback and their suggestions, because they have been teachers for longer and they do know a lot of tricks and stuff that I don't know. But if anyone comes to me regarding anything like the reading now, a lot of people come to me and talk to me about it and ask me what they're supposed to be doing. So I will share my knowledge if they ask for it, but really I've tried to steer clear of giving any suggestions when it's with administration or just with the whole team, just because I don't want to step on anybody's toes, really, and I want to make sure that everybody doesn't think that I think I know everything, because I definitely don't. I am a new teacher. There's a lot to learn. I've learned so much this year, just in 1 year already, and I know I'm going to continue to learn more. But finding that balance of trying to be helpful but not crossing anybody and not making anybody feel like they're old school and they don't know anything has definitely been one of my biggest struggles, with making sure that I fit in, but I also don't want to come across as if I'm not doing anything. And that's something that I've kind of just taken a back burner on. I'm honestly just trying to make it through this first year, because as a first year, there's not a lot of respect. But as I have sat back, the team has gone a lot closer, and they've started to appreciate that I do know what I'm talking about on some things, and they are more open to my suggestions, since I just kind of sat back and let them come to me when they needed something, which was really nice, feeling like they needed something, because as a new teacher, a lot of it is you going to other people, but it was nice to know that they finally are coming to me to ask me about things, whether it be the grade book because I understand technology, or whether it be about teaching reading to students with dyslexia, or in general now, because we're really moving towards that approach overall. So it is nice to see that they have started to realize that there are a lot of things that I learned about in college that could be useful to them. So just making sure that I didn't step on anybody's toes and cross any boundaries has been beyond helpful, because I think if I would have gone in there and been like, no, I know this and I'm trying to offer it up, they probably wouldn't have accepted it in the same way that they are now. But other than that, as a whole, I feel like the school is not a good fit for me, just because of the way that things are done there, and just the negative environment of the school overall. There's very low morale, and that is actually why I am finding a position at another school where I feel like people enjoy their job and they still have the same energy that I have as a new teacher. But other than that, really no other issues with fitting in or feeling singled out. But yeah, all right, thank you.